What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and today I'm going to be walking you through a strategy which I think has kind of been forgotten to some degree with ISIS, and it's kind of one of the main reasons why ISIS is really, really good. And it seems to me like I think a lot of the lower level players don't realize this, and therefore they're struggling with this god, whereas a lot of the high level players, this is why this god is getting picked most of the time. And that is the sort of one town center, fast heroic, all in, with 3 monuments and a whole lot of pain getting sent in onto the defender. So for everyone out there who was happy not facing this strategy, it's gonna be popping up on the ladder hopefully a little bit here, and we're gonna be seeing ISIS having a little bit more of showing rather than just all of the other sort of Ra players out there. This is good against Ra, this is good against Greek, this is maybe even good against Norse, and to some degree it can be good against an unsuspecting Atlantean, though you might find it a little bit challenging. So a couple of things to be worried about here or concerned about in the early game is, well, what does your base look like? Is it going to be possible to gather the food safely, or do I have to go elsewhere? Now on this map, Watering Hole, I get 2 rhinos in my main base. I've got my hunt in my main base, so I know I've got all the food in the world to execute this build. So what is the build, you guys ask? Well, it's very, very simple. We're going to put 5 villagers onto food. We're also going to grab about 3 wood from our first tree, and then build the granary. Make sure you don't shift click, just build the granary, put the pharaoh on it. The villagers will dump that wood into the granary so you can get the mining upgrade pickaxe. You're gonna put 2 more villagers onto food, build a monument with one of those villagers as well. You're not gonna have any villager idle time in the town center, so it's well worth doing this. And then you're gonna put 5 villagers over onto gold. Following this, you're gonna pre-queue out Flood of the Nile. You want to get that as soon as you possibly can. It's basically an extra villager. It's kind of like getting a very early Vaults of Erebus type thing if you're aware of the Hades build. And then as soon as you've got the gold, you're going to put a temple down. Now advancing at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, 4 minutes 45 seconds, 5 minutes. It doesn't really matter. So getting a super fast advance time, I wouldn't worry about it. The only things that you should worry about here is if maybe you're playing against Kronos and he's going to be doing a really, really early advance, and maybe you should adjust for that in some way. So temple comes down, and you're going to get your houses down, and these obelisks are really, really important. I am effectively just trying to see the entirety of the map and see if my opponent is going to be passing this position at any point. This is the kind of defensive line of sight vision that's so important. If you see your opponent coming, it means you have to be a little bit more respectful of them. If you don't see them coming, that means you can be very greedy, moving villagers out across the map. It also, if you see no units coming, then that can often mean they're going for attacking play or an economic play. So you get a lot of information where that's concerned. So we go through Bast. You can go through Anubis here if you like and go for Anubites, but this is not what I would consider the premium ISIS strategy. Now you see I'm already getting down that 2nd monument. As soon as I can afford that 3rd monument, I'm going to put that one down. I do realize you can probably advance and put those 3 monuments down, and then you can put those 3 monuments down and then advance, and you're gonna have a little bit more favor and a little bit more potency, a little bit with a little bit of a later advance time. The reason why I prefer the faster advance time is just for the safety of it. A little bit more potency, a little bit more favor for maybe squeezing out one Scorpion man like 20 seconds earlier. I don't think it's going to matter in terms of whether you win a game or lose a game. I'd rather have that safety in the early stages. Then we're just going to throw our houses down. Doesn't really matter. Just trying to make our base nice and safe. If he wants to go for a hoplite rush here, no worries. We'll just Ancestors Eclipse and then go into Chariot Archers. So we're not really concerned about anything. Our Sphinx here, I don't I'm playing against Zeus, so I don't really want to send it into my opponent's main base for it to just get bolted. Would rather hang on to it so I can potentially find an Ancestors Eclipse a little bit later on the economy. And I also haven't scouted my side of the map, so I've got to get that done. So this is pretty important here as well. Obviously, if you're getting attacked, use this to defend. But yeah, getting all the information on the map, very important. Continuing to get obelisks down, continuing to see what my opponent's doing here. I see some villages down onto the bottom of the map. And effectively, this sort of situation with our priest and the information we're getting now is going to dictate how we use our Ancestors Eclipse. And this is effectively the most important thing with this strategy. Do you use it with a whole bunch of Scorpion Men and a big push, or do you use it on the economy? And effectively what we're going to scout with is what we're going to kind of have to figure out. So we go up, we're going to drop our prosperity down, and we're still scouting around here, still trying to see. We know to some degree that our opponent's going for a teching play or an economic play because he hasn't moved across our line of sight at this point. My guess is on 2 town centers. So yeah, at the moment, I'm pretty happy to just hold Ancestors Eclipse and use that in my army. Or if I see a whole bunch of villages somewhere that I feel like I can hit that, I'm going to go for that. Either way, it's going to be very, very potent here. So the other thing is, because I haven't seen my opponent move across the line of sight just yet, I'm also expecting that he hasn't even started building any units. So I want to build my Migdol forward. Now this is definitely a decision you have to make, and you can get caught out here if you go for this. So you need to have that line of sight up to make this decision. You can see that I'm sort of getting that here, as I'm going to send my Sphinx forward now, looking for something to hit. His villagers are going to come forward and hit my dude. I see a town center. I see a gold mine here. And now the big part of this strategy, as we can get straight onto those villages here, the big part of this strategy is going to come to fruition very, very shortly, which is I do not, at this point, using Ancestors Eclipse like this, I am not really caring if I kill villagers or not. I just want to idle his economy as much as I possibly can. I idle his economy for a very long time here. I see villagers down the bottom that I'm going to go for. I saw that ages ago, so I'm going to send my minions down there and see if he's still over there. And he's not. He's up at the top, though. So literally, I'm just scouting out everything here. I get my Migdol up, and I'm going to start producing a whole bunch of units, as well as making Scorpion Men. And I see his villagers here, and again, just getting idle time, as much idle time as is humanly possible here. And if I can get a nice special attack onto those villagers and get some villager kills here as well, that's going to be even better. Now also, I don't want to lose my Scorpion Men, but I also want to get as much damage as possible, so we just retreat back. And now I've scouted his whole base. I know what he's got. I know he doesn't have that many units, so I need to apply pressure. He's either going to the heroic age, or I've caught him out and he's going to try and stay in the classical age. So no matter what here, the idea is go into my opponent's base somewhere and get villager kills. You absolutely need to hit economy. I don't think it matters, again, getting villager kills. I think it matters getting villager idle time. That's literally it. The villager idle time is everything at this point. So spreading out your Scorpion Man, just finding all of the different sort of points at which your opponent has resources and just hitting them like on repeat, because you're behind at this point in terms of economy. Sure, you've idled their economy for 40 seconds, but they've got double the amount of villages as you do with their second town center coming in. Plus they're also Zeus, so their economy is a little bit stronger anyways. So we're just going for premium units here, trying to spot everything, and effectively the way in which we win this game is by taking a really, really good fight and then getting all the villager kills after that. So we have to basically force our opponent out of his base and all the other stuff. Now, you've also got these premium Migdol units. And with these premium Migdol units comes one problem, which is you only have one Migdol when you're doing this strategy. which does kind of train relatively slowly. And you can see that I'm actually floating resources here. The correct kind of move at this point is either to drop town center or to be getting yourself armory upgrades. And right here, I see he's got a town center. He's got 2 heroes. I want to kill those villagers. I want those villagers to be idle here. I don't mind losing a couple of units on this sort of a raid, but you do have to be a little bit respectful here. I'm attacking elsewhere as well, so we're still getting damage all over the place. And now it's town center grabbing time. You can stay 1 town center here and drop a second Migdol to go even more all in. But I do think that, you know, if you've got enough damage here, you don't want to be... You want to effectively make sure the game is going to be in a good state for you if everything goes wrong. So getting that second town center means you're going to have a little bit more economy to play with a little bit later. So if you do end up losing the fight, you can continue along. But yeah, at this point we've dealt serious damage. We've still got these chariots pushing forward. We've still got some good value coming in here. I pushed him off that Ford Hunt. He's got a gold mine at the top, and I'm seeing him build effectively Hippias Toxotes. So I know I'm still building chariot archers here. I've got the ballistics technology queued up because that's going to be incredibly important to my chariot archers' success here. But realistically, the unit of choice at the moment should be to transition over to mass camel riders, but my economy isn't sort of sorted out like that. I'd have to take all my villagers off of wood and put them over onto food, as I do catch him out on the gold over there, sending him back. Definitely don't want him to get any of that gold. I see him on that bottom gold mine, or his home-based gold mine almost expired, which does mean we're getting close to the point at which we sort of want to take a fight. And if we take a fight there, it's going to be a good spot for us. And as our economy is going to start increasing, we definitely need to start getting ourselves another Migdol stronghold to build stuff. I've got a lot of favor in the bank here. I'd love to get some more Scorpion men out. They did get sort of nerfed a while back because they are very, very strong, but they still have that potency. They're just expensive. So, and of course, if something is very, very strong, they should be expensive, right? So we're going to be investing into those and getting those resources. The other thing is you could save that favor for another prosperity, which is another way to kind of continue along in these spots. And when you get ballistics with the chariot archers, you can just push in and just poke and take villages down. Behind all of this, you can see that my economy here, I'm on 2 town centers. I've only got 8 villagers on food, and this is effectively like kind of old school ISIS logic, is that I want the minimum amount of villagers on food to sustain village production and also spam out wood-based units, chariot archers, scorpion men. But I am very concerned that he's going to have a lot of Hippias and he's going to be able to take out my chariot archer ball. So, but we've got enough of a meat shield for the chariot archers that it kind of doesn't matter. Now, another really good move is to actually push in and drop Migdols in your opponent's face. It can be very, very strong. Another thing is, as you see him pushing over here, if you can snipe down the Greek heroes, Norse heroes, or whatever with your chariot archers, then your scorpion men are going to be absolutely terrifying. And we can see here, the scorpion men comes through, and getting that special attack damage done in that big ball and a choke point is absolutely gigantic. Your opponent needs to be taking those scorpion men out, and we're able to absolutely clean house here in that fight, just on the fact that like the scorpion men have got that area of effect damage. Your opponent's bunched up on that position, so you're getting a huge amount of damage. And now I'm a little bit like worried. I have to kind of spread out my army a little bit, and one way to play around this is to move forward and drop a Migdol stronghold on one of those positions. Another way is to just kind of send one scorpion man at the other gold mine continuously, and you're going to be able to get a lot of villager kills with that scorpion man. He is such a premium raider against most civilizations. You get so much value. But yeah, effectively, if you don't recognize this strategy, this was something that the Mister threw at everyone on the ladder in the very, very early days of Age of Mythology Retold when it first came out. And he had obviously 100% win rate with this civ. It's still good. In fact, it's even better, I would say now, than it was back then, just on the fact that the Migdal units have been buffed. And this is a big reason why ISIS is so good. You don't have to go to town centers. You don't have to go for any sort of tricky sort of 2 town center defense into trying to play for the late game with ISIS. ISIS is and always will be a timing attack god with some very, very strong myth units. Now it's on the opponent to kind of try and figure out how to defend against this. And then following all of this, if things continue along here, you've also got Osiris to fall back on. And Son of Osiris with the mummies, very, very strong as well. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, post commentary sort of shenanigans, definitely let me know in the comment section below. If there's any questions about this strategy, you run into any problems trying to execute it, definitely put the comments down and I'll try and respond to them all. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. My name's Boit, and I'll see you guys in the next one.